It's the king. It's the king. King, 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 king. It's the king. And we presented with a very unique question today. And the question is, how can he describe medical doctors giving him medical reports that verify that he had cognitive disability, substantial vision impairment, substantial in all his lawsuits. And he currently taking prescription medication for a lifetime fluctuating eye condition and had to do with a bleach and a burn attack. And my church people on South BB Street in the city of Marshall, village of Marshall, town of Marshall, they've been looking out for King. And King say he got something special for us today, something uniquely beautiful. Beautiful than no other beautiful. It'd be beautiful. When beautiful was beautiful. When people say they had a free exercise right clause to worship that Holy Bible. Some people got confused, some didn't. It's the king. And today's lesson is, oh my, no matter how much you earn, you got soul ties to God. You know, no matter how much your occupation is right now. Let's shout it out. Little Billy business district. Coming up, if you will. And shout out to Marshall Baptist Church. Holy Bible. 1 Timothy, 2nd chapter, verse 5. And 2 Timothy, 2nd chapter, verse 15. Study the word, divide it rightly, and show thyself approved unto God, not man, according to thy work, because man will never understand and measure your work when God gave you a season to work in the tribulation, when work was supposed to be work for a faith-based worker. And there's a king sliding around the city of Marshall, village of Marshall, town of Marshall. No, we met this thing called cemetery. Oh, the classroom was this. And some people liked it and some people did not. Let's lock it in. We on Waterloo, Deerfield Road. We got legitimate business district. Outdated, possibly, now camera. And we want to figure this thing out if you don't mind. We in the city of Marshall, village of Marshall, town of Marshall, Wisconsin is the reason, and the county is there. Let's shout out to terrain people. It's a serious situation. King say the United States Court of Appeals, United States Supreme Court has given him a unique opportunity to put together a thesis, if you will, of what happens when legitimate business districts ain't coded right, and what happens on the monopoly board in any city, any town, any state, any village, tribal land, where the taxes and the lawyers ain't doing what the king say he do. He say he got a show. He's a YouTube owner. And he put together 26 lawsuits on the government, 26 appeals, no bifocals, and the medical doctors now have given him, if you don't mind, evidence, if you don't mind, of his situation. And he's trying to figure out now if it's true or is it false. If we live in a reality or is it a fantasy. It's the king. And time never was, you see, when man was not, because man just ain't got out the snot of it. Shout out to the craft fair, April 26th, 10 a.m., 3 p.m. Let's shout them out one time. Shout out to St. Paul Block. And shout out to Photo 14 Smith and Sister Cole. No King say he got a lot of work to do. He want to come out and talk to his fans, and he want to teach today. Let's shout it out. Let's shout out the Green Machine. Oh man, look at the Green Machine. And if we trying to figure this out, King say he trying to stop the irreparable harm. No, the people said they wanted to sanction him based on his show, and he said he want to sanction them based on their show. And the show is money. The show is lawyers. And the show is if you never in your lifetime with a human tongue. No, it can't be no vain lip confession. Shout out to the rookies here. No, shout out to the cameras we don't see. Can't be no vain lip confession. Gotta be a real thing. No, because God said when he give you business, nobody be able to take it away. We want to see what happened in the village of Marshall, city of Marshall, town of Marshall, possibly. He say from the early breakfast programs all the way to the creation of government programs, free lunch, free breakfast, and free dinner was being offered. But you had to know how to beg for your offering. And what is begging for your offering and not asking for tithes? Well, you got to understand the paperwork part of it. And the paperwork part of it have Basil, Genius, and Davis now understand. And want to lock my little fans in. No future business owners, they want to own a business. They never want their business to look like this. We in the city of Marshall, but the Marshall town of Marshall. We in the city of Marshall, but it's Marshall town of Marshall. The King say he want to shout out 137 main breakfast, but what about lunch and dinner? What about the free meals you could have given the humans with the right government grants and lawyers and state and federal tax breaks? No, King say he also speak on civil law. And it's universal law that governs all law. For some stockbrokers, for some unspecified reason, King say he on this day woke up in a reality where he taught cemetery class and the people said that was a threat. He taught artificial intelligence. They say that was a threat. He talked about the trees sending past the curb. That was a threat. He talked about the people sending him the most beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous woman in the world. And that was a threat. So let's stop. For the sake of clarity, let's eliminate the word threat today. We want to tell you what happened. King said he had 5 cars. He had Harley Davidson. He had Suzuki at one time now, and he was very famous. And the humans loved him. You know, he always shot out his window how much people should have if they understand what civil law is versus criminal law. We got a lot of future rookies. They doing push-ups 1,000 a day, 1,500 a day, 2,500 a day, 4,000 every other day to impress the people that they can work hard. But we want to figure out if there's any man left that like to masturbate their egos by reading books and challenging others. And we got caught up in one book. And it just won't stop being a book because we just ain't got to the bottom of it. We're trying to figure out that sweet, that holy, that eternal design, that thing we call it, the Bible. Basic instruction before leaving earth, before I believe Love exists. I have to, let's run that back. Before I believe love exists, I have to understand what 1 Corinthians 13 means. I have to understand what getting to the highest human imagination means. And then ascending to the spiritual plane. And trying to, live amongst the angels. And, these type of things. And then stop. Rookies, we illegitimate, if you don't mind, business this. Shout out to Subway. And shout out to cemetery class. It just, it do something to the people. And King said he didn't mean for us to do something to the people in this way. But God, now, he left a message, and we just can't quite understand it. And the King say he got a lexicon so cold on East Main Street, Hubble Street, that'll baffle the geniuses. The babies can understand. Let's shout out to all businesses that's booming. Let's shout out to all horses that's sitting up high. We got quarter horses, we got 50 horses, we got 75-cent horses, and we got dollar horses. We got trophies. We got stallions. We got stallions. Stop, rookies. And shout out to the garage sale. 55-8. 558 Hubble Street, Saturday and Sunday. Crafts Fair. April 26, 10 a.m., 3 p.m. 888 Liberty Boulevard. And Sun Prairie. Let's shout that out. And we shouting that out. Stop, rookies. Want to shout out all business owners. No, they ancestors. The ones that really kicked it off. We talking about the ones that, damn it, they really didn't know what business was. And their parents told them, just do what I do. They didn't really teach them everything. They didn't teach them that the codes in existence now, since they got this new thing called artificial intelligence, it really could take us to the highest dimension of what humans mean when they claim to be intelligent. Stop! The King! He say, look at her. We got quarter horses. We got stallions. We got stallions. They looking so beautiful, so wonderful, so gorgeous in the city of Marshall, village of Marshall. And look at that farm. It just rob you of your imagination you ever wanted to own one. But is this reality or not? Is she really born? But then we got speed limit 35, 25. We ain't got nothing for that. We in a legitimate business district. And then the humans say, the King went back. And want to slow this thing down if you got lost to the translation of what happened. King said he woke up. He put a lawsuit in. He put another one in. He put 26 in. And the people said, hold on, you brilliant on paper now. You're damn genius, but there's no way you're going to get in our government. And the King say, well, unfortunately now, you don't mind, let's take a break and figure out what happened. We're in the city of Marshall, Marshall, town of Marshall. And King says it's the city of Janesville, state of Wisconsin, United States of America, county of Rock, and city of Beloit, city of St. Prairie, city of Milton, city of this, city of that. We have not quite seen the yellow, the red, and the green photo enforced signs. You know, this is a photo enforced business district. If you don't mind, this is business area. And if you don't mind, we have to pay, our penalty. And shout out to the police as they slide with the King. But they, stop! They might be trying to press this thing. The King say he come up with called photo enforced business district code, called artificial intelligence, injury proof, uniform, called this and called that. The King say he not a government worker. He challenged him because it's his job. And some people say he was stupid. And some people called him brilliant. And let's figure this out. Let's shout out Little America. Let's shout out Medina Funeral Home. Let's shout out every cemetery that was ever built And you ain't never thought about owning the cemetery top. And you know humans got to go back to the dirt because they souls got to go back to God. You know, it's the soul of it. No, your soul got to go back to God. And before you meet me the wrong way, I want to introduce you the right way to the King. He say he was outside studying every day. No 5-10 hours a day. God is so magnificent. Can you dig it 50 million, my Lord, for a school? And let's get back to the sweet, holy, and eternal design. Because we got to open up with scripture, because we don't. Humans say this ain't a real show under free exercise clause right. And United States government, they might be considering, now in all considerance of considering this man to be a threat to the defense. While he say, hold on, and we just stop for 1 minute. Just one. Have 5 minutes to open the mind. King say he been trying not to do the good thing, but he had an impossible feat. Let's break it down. He had the worst record in human history. It was the worst human record from creation of records. When records became records. When records was thought to be records. And humans said, let's create records. And then King say, hold on. We need to create this thing called shout out to East 19. We on Box Elder Road. We in the city of Marshall, town of Marshall, Brooklyn. It's a show. And we honor all our vets. And let's honor them right now in the mighty name of Jesus. Only if you love God will you understand what's going to happen. And we crying out to all faiths at this moment. King say he woke up. No, what an impossible task. Humans say, well, you spoke on God a little too good. Now we want to take a look at you. And King say, well, that ain't no problem. I can do it all day. I could do this all night. I could do this homeless. I could do this forever. And ever and ever. And ever. But what is forever? And let's get back to cemetery class. As we on our vets now, we created businesses, we came. No, we had good upstanding vets, we had bad ones, and those in the middle. And right now, stop! We want to talk about those in the middle, want to make that real conversion. But God just ain't spoke to him. And the King say, he wants to speak to you now. No, did your pastor teach you how to earn some money so you can make a bigger tithe to the church? Because we know nickels, pennies, dimes, and quarters really ain't enough when we got to go back to that final occupation. And today's lesson is the final occupation. Final occupation. What is your final occupation? Is you going to ever travel a new country? Are you going to stay stuck in your city? You going to die in one city? You going to learn how to look at every business, ever be business, and come up with your own coding system. And since the people scatter artificial intelligence, can we just wrap that in a loop? Shout out to little America and the business they might be seeing at this time. This King, he playing with the hydrogen of your mind. Well, we're not just in the physical, because we got to get to the spiritual. Because we got to go to the cemetery class. And God say the soul is his. So he don't care. The King say he don't care how beautiful you is in the physical body. With a human mind and a human brain, he want to break it down to you a little bit deeper because we got a lot of humans that don't understand what the spiritual plane is. And then we got a lot of humans don't understand the legitimate business district code. Shout out to the town of Medina, established in 1848. And shout out to the cameras we don't see. And shout out to the artificial intelligence safety equipment that we could see in Little America, but it just ain't here. And the government say, well, you got to come up with some way to articulate what you're saying because some of the things you say are so brilliant, so beautiful, so wonderful. So God, not even government employees have made it possibly in the highest distance of plausibility. And God says, study the birds and they can find it. Crazy stuff. Let's slow it down. It's okay. Let's shout out Love America. They need a little business today, please, people. No, we ain't begging, but we ask. The mighty name of Jesus, the mighty name of all faiths, 501c3 workers. We in the city of Marsh, Village of Marsh, town of Marsh, 7th Circuit Court of Appeals, United States Supreme Court. Might want to hear from the king today, and they might not. They might want to put him in the clinical institution. And that's what we want to get to. No, they might want to put him in the highest clinic under the tightest ball and chain the United States ever done to a man, claiming he had a free exercise right clause. He had a legitimate business, but nobody understood his level of business, and nobody could understand the intellect that he had because they were too far caught up in the flesh. And today, want to talk to our special classroom, cemetery class. The mighty name of Jesus want to open up with 119 Psalms book. First verse all the way through the fifth. And then we want to take it to the Valley of Dry Bones, Ezekiel 37, if you don't mind, King. He say Ezekiel 37 is where we at today, but God said breathe breath back into my people. And King say he say, God say, your soul belongs to me. Your spirit now and your mind is two different things. But your soul is mine. And one day we gonna get our judgment. But what is judgment? When God said we should not judge. It's a king. God said we should not condemn. Let's shout out the Cobb family. God said we should not condemn. Let's shout out William J. Miller, CPL, U.S. Marine Corps, World War II, April 30th, 1928, March 1st, 2023. Let's shout him out. Let's shout him out, Carl Miller. And God said something beautiful was going to happen today, but a lot of people didn't understand what he meant. It's a king. Let's shout out Carl Miller. Let's shout out Carl here. Let's shout out Vernon E. Cobb. The Lord is my shepherd, and I shall not want. Let's shout out mental health. Let's shout out artistic expression. Let's shout out anybody who does not live according to the normal mold of the human set for themselves as far as goals. Let's shout out any human who ever tried to be different and use 3% of their brain to communicate to the United States government to try to delegate in business because we had to pay taxes to government. And I want to figure this thing out. Now, can criminals stop? Can criminals have companies to edify the government? It's the king, you see. We got a body here, we got a body there. Body here, body there. We got bodies everywhere we want to protect, we want to serve, we want to do right. Let's shout out. Let's shout out Kenneth Lester. World War II, Wisconsin National Guard. And the king said he come up with this thing called cemetery class for the people. Thought he went mad trying to send him to the clinic, but God said, your soul is mine. You just keep speaking my name. I'm going to bring you around my people. No more small talk. Do you believe in me or not? Can you edify to my people or not? Is your enemy of the government or not? And King say, no, he come in friendship, but some people say he like to fight. Stop! C. Gibbs versus Gunfight. 658 Fed 382 83. We got a sacred classroom today only for the truth. And a chosen beyond the 12, but can you get past your skin color? And can you get past the snot of it? Because we got so many codes that could be converted to artificial intelligence code, but a lot of humans have not heard this thing called artificial intelligence code. And it baffled the geniuses, but the babies now understood it. Let's shout out Ernie. You don't mind? We in church. We at church with the king. Church with the king ain't like your normal church. This church here, it pushes the thought provocation of the human, the iron, the territory, and the boundary set under 1983, 1964, and 1885, and the creation of the Constitution. And when Trump said he wanted to make a few modifications to the Constitution, the people went mad because they did not know he was given a godly talent to understand what micro and macro economics was all about. He understood the tree and the forest. He understood how to build, and King say he know how to put codes everywhere where we got traditional code, customs, bylaws, acts, traditional acts, amendments, and modifications to the United States Constitution, Civil Rights Acts, bills. And if you don't mind, we got a sacred classroom going on today on this my truth and the chosen beyond the 12. They asked for that. What he gonna do tomorrow? He ain't done nothing. King said, let's shout out Medina Cemetery and all our fans in the dirt, because we all got to go back, unfortunately. No, unfortunately, God did not say we can live forever, only he can live forever. And then King said, well, we can't live forever. Let me give the people something they ain't never thought about in forever. And it's a thought that confused the masses. Who the hell is he? Talk to us like this. He said he a United States citizen. And God said that verse, and there you'll find him. Because we got to look up now. We keep looking down. We keep looking down, but not up, and then this happened. It's a king. We're in the city of Mars, village of Mars, the town of Mars. People asked for the king. He said, I think I can give you one more. I think I can give you one more. My loss of country is what invokes me to this level of intimacy with the people who claim to be true Christians, who claim that they live by the Spirit, Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, and they not led by the wicked plans of man. And King say he come up with his own show. But the human got confused because they said there's no such thing. There's no such thing as what he said. There can never be any jurisdiction in the whole entire United States to get this man right and say these things he has said. And King say, we want to shout out where we all going, but it's not a threat, it's a promise. And we took promise for threat. As we was exercising our free exercise right clause and told the people, no, I got a little education. No, not a lot. It's just a little bit. And it's enough, if you don't mind, to get the government employees who's sitting at the top of the heresy of that government understand what happened in this government when Trump said he want to finish the wall years ago, and then people said no, and the criminals kept doing them, and then The kids got hurt in there. Gangsters got hurt in there. Dogs got hurt in there. Bodies hit the ground in there. Police had to respond. No, it wasn't. Stop. It's the king. No, the people ask. They ask for king. King, what could you teach us? Money don't buy happiness. It's the main moral of the story, you see. King say he had a few dollars. Stop, rookie. He had a few dollars. And dollars don't mean nothing if God ain't blessed the dollar. And we don't want you to be impartial. We want you all in on this thing, but every human is entitled to an opinion. And general opinions hold no truth, for the generality of men are ignorant. And King say he put this disclosure on all his content, but somehow it was misconstrued as a threat, and he was sanctioned. And he had no bifocal glasses, and his cognitive abilities handicapped him like this. You know, my. No, he come in. Stop cookies. He come in the courtroom. He thinking he the stuff. No, these lawyers been doing it for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. They ready for King. And King say he was ready for them, but damn, you gotta understand what happened. No more small talk. We got class, and it's fully in session. And we got a mental health status check that was reconsidered. And all considerances of is this man really serious about what he say happened to him truly as considering in a situation. And he say he loved God. They shouted out to my class. We got to take it up a notch. King say he was asked on the date by the most beautiful, wonderful creature in the world. They say, well, how you gonna keep her interested in your show, your little fake show you had? Well, it's quite a complex situation. You don't mind? Let's break it down. No more small talk. No more small talk. It's a combination of acting. It's a combination of lashing out. It's a combination of showing you know how to exercise your right to protest. And protest what the king has done for 4 years with no bifocal. And you don't mind letting him dust his lip off. It's trying to kind of dry. It is if you don't mind. And protesting. No, for the people who say they love God. They love business. They love civil rights. They love new things. They love coding systems that can edify free money for them as a kickback from government, city, state, federal, tribal, local land, and United States Supreme Court, 7th Circuit Court of Appeals has asked the king to try to make one more appeal to them as we delegate about separating the malicious parts from the business part. And we try to separate business from malicious intent and malicious exposure. King say he trying his last dribble of the ball, few more dribble. For the true Christian, true faith people, to put together some money because we might be on to something. If you don't mind, let's shout out Pepsi. My throat kind of dry. And let's shout out Cemetery Club because God said if you can handle it, he'll let you talk to his people who might think about cemetery nonstop. And let's see if you're thinking about cemetery nonstop because God said the people who brought you here no, they brought you here. They want you to have a purpose. And for some unspecified reason, say for another God just wouldn't let you work out your purpose because, distraction and other things kept happening. Then God said, well, go talk to my people. Go sit beside still water. Go to the cemetery. And today want to focus on anybody, whoever in their lifetime, start a cemetery company, cemetery business. They knew they had to deal with people that physically just was not here. And then they take on an occupation. They take on a career. They take on roles as pastors, Bible study teachers, lawyers, doctors, judges. They take on business in the United States of America. And here they with the city of Marshall town of Marshall, King say he got 60% of all the motions completed on consolidated motions to submit supplemental motions and appendixes to reopen particular cases and consolidated cases. Well, today we got a case that no human in the United States had to delegate about. A delegation is, how can I, appease government? Talk to her in some type of way. Well, we could do backflips and money because I thought it's a thing they might overlook, but some people say it was snitching, and King said it was not. It was defense. And somebody gave him the coin. And let's talk about it. To my most faithful. Now, God said sometimes you better go around people who can't talk back to you. And think of the pressure in it. And think of the pain in it. You don't mind a shout out rattle off. So God say, your soul is mine. I cherish it. Yes, believe it, but you got to get that resurrected body to really understand this process. And we talk about that process today. The resurrection of the body. So a lot of humans, they got caught up in the social skills part of it. You know, God say, I'm going to give you years to be popular amongst the popular people, but then I'm going to take you to the angelic plane, let you know your choices and your consequences, and give you conversion power and put you around those in authority to see if you could adjust and convert to authority. But if you could edify to authority, and you might be making something that can uplift fallen humanity, but some people going to give you a lot of flack about it because they not educated about that subject matter. And the subject matter today is your final occupation. It's here, rookie. Stop! Stop it, you rookie! Hey, King, say, what's your pastor? Preach for you. For Easter, no more small talk. Did he bring you amongst the congregation? If we forget about these souls, let's shout out Baker. Stop, rookie! If we forget about these beautiful souls and live among us, we don't see too many decorations. We're in the city of Masha. We're in the Masha town of Masha. And the king say he hurt because, no, he don't see too many decorations. Just a few. You don't mind? No more small talk. We're trying to invoke the spirit of the men and the women who say they love God. And they got family members, loved ones here. They got friends and foes here. And they got business ideas from these people. And they still flourishing as the birds enjoy the nature. We talking to the chosen beyond the 12 today. We trying to talk to the United States Supreme Court with no lawyer. Hey, I need you. The king, he say, got caught up in the delegation. They sent me the most beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous creature in the world. They distract me. Asked me on the day. I had to play my game. I had to say no. She got confused because I know, and she knew about this. Cemetery class. Shout out to baby referee. No, who took baby referee to cemetery class? Told her whether she was here or not, she would always be beautiful. And her memory will last a lifetime. And her sacrifice will be for the greater good of the upliftment of the fallen humanity. I want to start out faith-based work. All kind. King say he been tasked with a job so impossible without his bifocals. And on 4/17/2025, doctors confirmed an unprecedented condition. The condition so cold and so critical and so crucial. I had come talk to my people about it today. Shout out to baby referee. And shout out to our people. And shout out to all my people here. No, ain't no more tears to cry. No, God do you wrong sometimes. Just to see if you're going to do right. And King say, maybe they did do him wrong. Send him the most beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous woman in the world to him. He got money. He got power. And he got intellect. He triple threat. And then the people say it was a rumor going around. And shout out to my little gopher. And she looking for something to eat. Might be chewing on some flesh, might be chewing on some grass. Shout it out! Shout out to God. 1861. 1865. Shout it out! Shout out to Elise. Shout out to this. Shout out to the class. Today. Do you like the resurrection? No, God say he resurrected on the third day. And King say it's just the first day. Second day and the third day. And one show because no, he trapped at his desk right now. Trying to create content that will rob all humans of their imagination. Shout out to Sanders. Stop cookies. Shout out to Sanders. Shout out to John. Shout out to Ada. Shout out to Ella. Shout out to Miller. And shout out to my ghost. Out here playing these games. Looking for some ghosts. And we got a lot of humans. No thought King was the biggest fool in the world to try to do his show and play this game. No speaking to those in charge. How dare him try to teach people in charge anything and try to get the people really out of poverty? King said, well, let's just get back. Cemetery crowd, we don't want to get confused. A shout out to Malcolm. Shout out to Malcolm. World War II. DFC. And let's get back to the claim. No claim so crucial that no human with a human tongue has been able to claim this subject matter. Now the king say he got attacked with bleach, burn chemical. And the people say just because he was able to write, let's walk it in slow. Just because he was able to write, he was cognitive. See, now God done made a lot of humans when they prayed for it now, when they begged and they prayed for it now, who had this ability, give them a short-term, spell. And King say he got a fluctuating eye condition disability, and his eyesight subject to go out at any minute. They gave him drops for it on 4/17/2025. And today he tasked with the task of bringing his cemetery class students together with his fans that's living, and then his fans who oppose the show, and those who don't, and those in the middle about it, and those that don't give a damn about it. So he say he got a hell of a task today. It's the king. He say when God make people who can't walk, and when God make people who can't hear, see, and see, hear, and smell, taste, and touch, that could it be a miracle that God let this happen? And King say he stumbled up in the show with the whole idea today to let you know that miracles do happen. It's a king. He say he walk up in the church. They say, well, we seen many miracles happen here. We seen a million miracles happen here. You really want to be a part and a portion? No, I want to be the miracle because God said. And let's shout out the nutritional value of this message. You don't mind. Shout out to Hoffman. Shout out to Hoffman. Shout out to all those we see, those we don't, those who come and those who won't be coming while we here. But God say every soul is here. Independently. Shout out to Kruger. Let the people beg for it. What are you going to do to us today? Well, shout out to Rashi. What the king going to do to you today? He going to massage the temple of your dream. He going to bring you sermon and the way you never heard sermon. And he going to show you visual and spiritual illustration. Never been told. It's bad for the genius, but the baby understand it. And we want to get back to the Bible and see how many times God brought sight to those who originally couldn't see. They knew nothing about the kingdom. They were lost. They were not educated about God. They were not educated about how his people work. They were not educated how government worked. They were not educated about nothing. They were just so much anarchy, so much confusion, so much lawlessness, so much corruption. And God say, hold on. I still sit with the thieves, the murderers, the rapists, the crooks, because I want to know why they did that. And it's a study. And we got lost in when we picked up the book with the king. Basic instruction before leaving earth. And because I believe love exists, we end up here today. Nowhere else. No other pastor in the world can do this to you. Shout out to John. And shout out to every dad named John. Shout him out, 1871, 1973. Shout out to every human named John. And shout out to my people. And shout out to mental health awareness. Day, month, year, week, bi-weekly, tri-weekly. And shout out to faith-based workers. Knowing God tell them to do something important, knowing they just don't do it. They just ain't taught about the blind people getting to see, about the cripple being able to walk, about the women with the blood diseases, know about the other people with disability. And shout out to this. Shout out to Bill. Shout out to Bill. His book of education and presentation, communication, rules the entire nation. But what is you teaching? And what is you preaching? Shout out to Bill. And shout out to this. Easter Sunday. No, King say he apologized. He couldn't get to you on Easter. This show should make up for that. No, he say he don't like it when the people don't really know who God is. No, from all angles. We only want the good parts of it. No, we don't want to see no other parts of it. And the king say it's the best part of it. It never stopped being a part of it. Let's shout out to Valley. Dry Bones, we in the city of Marshall, town of Marshall, Box Elder Road, Highway 19. We fell in love with the king. Stop! No, king say he was back on a date by the most beautiful, wonderful, gorgeous, individual, human ever create. To him, a lot of people was offended. And he got offended. Not because he said it might have been a fake thing, but hold on. Can he get his chance to not really show what he really could and did, but side rookies, you play too much school, church and such, with the king, Easter Sunday. And shout out to Medusa, she's so rich. She play too much. Medusa play too much. 1 minute she wants you, and 1 minute she don't. Shout out to Medusa. No, 1 minute she wants you, and 1 minute she say she hates you. Shout out to Medusa. Shout out to Medusa. Shout out to Medusa. Shout out to Medusa. Shout out to my people. As we take this innocent journey, and shout out one more time to Pepsi. Because maybe some of her founders might be not here no more. Shout out to Pepsi. No, shout out to Easter Sunday. And shout out to the third day. It was on the third day he rose. And the humans got confused. And I should give it a moment of silence because, you know, sometimes God say He gonna bring you complete silence when He is speaking through other people. No, God say He use anybody. A newspaper, a TV show, a peasant like me to get His word across to His people. And King said we caught up in it. We can't get out of it. We're supposed to have been to the library, but God said we need to get this show in because we got to get to the next level of worship, if you don't mind. Shout out to Agnew. And shout out to Pepsi. And shout out to you. And shout out to you if you just tuned in for the first time in your life and you just didn't really understand what Easter was. What it meant to just live it out. For real. No, not just vain lip confession. Not just playing with scripture. Not just chirping like the bird eat off the ground. Regurgitating the word. But He calls us to live it out. And talk to His people. No, God fear human because we really do fear Him and have reverence, but some people don't. We want to get back to that. Shout out to Glenn. We on the outside looking in as the king. He say he trying to get to the United States Supreme Court because he got a national issue. He say it was a pastor. Some situations had occurred. He went blind. Bleach and burn chemicals was thrown in his eye. By the grace of God, he kept praying. Praying. A lot of people didn't like his praying. Didn't understand what he was saying. And shout out to Glenn. We in it. Easter Sunday. And if you don't mind, we gotta get to you rookies. We gotta get to Small Talk Live TV. Small Talk Live TV. If you don't mind, today we broadcasting the new station. No more small talk. We talking sportscasting. We talking artificial intelligence codes. We talking to all humans. Those who love government workers and those who don't. Those in the middle about it. Those who just don't know God yet. No more small talk. And what is love if you can't sit with the person you claim to love and they have no idea that you might want to love them, but you can't say it? So how could you formulate that plot in your head and in your heart of hearts? You really don't love them, but you really do. And then God say, well, you got to love them no matter what they did to you, because 70 times 7 is a cold number, but want to see how many of these people will forgive 70 times 7 as we caught up in cemetery class, and they can't talk back, they can't come and see you, they can't take no shower with you, they can't eat no food with you, they can't go on no more romantic strolls with you, but only spiritually. Now Matthew chapter 7 verse 7, spiritually they can attend all these things with you, but you got to invoke and invite them in, because you got to think about them. And God say, if you think about him enough, he don't talk back to you a little too much sometimes. And then some people get confused, some people do not. And those who brave enough to step out and speak about it, you know, those the ones that get the fame and the fortune, God say, the glory is his. I want to shout out God. Jesus Christ, his name is the King. No, God has healed many humans of being sick. Those who couldn't walk, those who couldn't talk. And it's a miracle that the King said he was able to delegate with the United States of America 26 times. No, putting all legal protection on it. Shout out to Fred Hampton. Shout out to Martin Luther King. Shout out to Malcolm X. Shout out to every black civil rights activist who ever spoke against the United States and they was murdered. And King say he's still alive. Somebody very powerful say, no, not him. He not the one. We love him. We love him. We hate him, but we love him. Let's not hurt him. Shout out to Alfred. We won't get caught up in that love affair. You don't mind. Shout out to Fred Hampton. Shout out to Martin Luther King. Shout out to Tony Robinson. Shout out to every African American human who was ever considered a threat. Government had to go in, they intervened, and then the intervention didn't come out quite good. And King say, because he speak about God like they like-minded creatures. They went to church together. They took communion together for 2 years. They drank the food, the beverage together. They done activities together. They kind of family. They invoked the spirit in together. They invited God to their mind together. They heart. And in this place you can find God in the heart. So we got a body of believers saying, law enforcement, non-law enforcement, thugs, non-thugs, criminals, non-criminals. We just got a body of believers. They just say they want God in their life, and then they ask for King. And King say he come give it to them. Everything. For love of God, for love of country, for love of baby referee. I have to do these things. Good night, rookie. And King say what is love, because he say he end up can you do it at first sight? It's a hell of a thing. He say, can you fall in love at first sight? Now see, we not talking about second sight. It's something like first sight. It stops. Now King say he don't care what color you is. We got to give our rest to God because sometimes he make us, go back to the dirt like this. No, then, no, sometimes you can't get up. He that's called like, come here. We got to talk. I don't care what they say. We got to talk. Good night. And then, God said, I'm going to give you one more chance to get it right. To teach that thing called guilt versus conflict. And King said he can't do it by himself. No, he developed disability. He got bleach on his eye. He got sucker punch. He got burned. And the most beautiful, wonderful God, wonderful God, wonderful God, wonderful. The most wonderful, if you don't mind, if you will, the most beautiful, the most wonderful God, beyond God. God is what God is, but God is what God is. What? So God is, but then God is, says he was God. It say, if you wanna, and King say, stop! You cannot believe what you have done. You have awoken the King because you say you want to see my show. And they say Jesus had hair like wool, but no, really wasn't too many places to wash up then. The people got understood. Everybody wants to say he white, he black, he green, he... Stop! That's small talk. Let's figure out how many pastors really teaching that word and giving it to the rookie. Make him lock you into that TV screen. Okay, we got to have reverence for God. No matter who he is in human body today, but what about your legacy? And we talk about Will Testament trust. And we talk about people who focused on 40, 50, 60, 70, 80-year career. And shout out to God, because one day I ain't gonna be able to drink no soda, and you ain't either. So let's get back to the subject matter at hand. Shout out to Sprite, because one day you won't get one. Stop, rookies! One day you won't drink Sprite. One day you gonna want a Sprite. And shout out to Glenn. No more small talk. We really in it. We on the outside looking in. Defense! Defense! And they sent the King baby referee. They did not know what they had done. Yes, I would love to hang out, but no, I gotta teach my show it. It's so beautiful, baby referee. You would not understand what I gotta do to these people. We in the city of Moss, village of Moss, and child of Moss amongst the cemetery class today, if you don't mind, baby referee. All mother fans who like up on the show, King said he was trying to take Bay referee to new country, teach Cole. He just traveling planes, but somewhere along the line things went wrong. And then King said he had to go try to get another girlfriend. Then he been traveling for girlfriends. Nobody measured up to Bay referee. Stop, rookie! Why you do it? Send me the most beautiful, wonderful God creature in the world. She showed me imagination, and I'm trying to steal yours. Stop, rookie! 501c3. County 7 Circuit. County United States. Supreme Court. Make an expansion on people who claim to be past. People who claim to have had miracles in their life. People who say they was cognitively impaired, but every day they left the house they prayed. And shout out to Johnny, Judge Johnny and Woods. He said, well, pray for me in this courtroom right now. You really believe in God. You want to achieve in God. And King say, no problem. Yet I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I shall not fear no evil. Nothing evil shall prosper, because I'm a vessel of God. Jesus Christ's name. I'm a chosen beyond the 12. And I'm affirmed in all things. Amen. And he say we was impressed. And then the police, they just, hold on, stop. Give him a minute. We want to watch him. And God say one day you're not going to be able to burp. There's a lot of things you humans, including myself, we take for granted. And then when God sends you a woman, not just once, not just twice, 720 times, how can you not say you got a problem? Let's give it a moment of silence, because a lot of humans don't like to stay silent. Let's look at our people and shout out to Pepsi. No, King say he got a hell of a show. Only for the chosen, beyond the 12, and only for those who love government and want to see the United States really the most dominant nation in all nations. One nation was creation, and United Nations was created. And United States still got people over there, and they land, and they come back just as they left. Travel mercies on anybody who got to go to work out of country. Now, King say he had a show to speak international defense of people who believe in God. Jesus Christ's name. We can take on the other ones. And vote challenge. And King say he don't see no pastors out here doing this. No faith-based people. No doing this to the people. And talking to government all at one time. And having lunch with those he called back. But they not here yet. But they been here already. And time never was what man was not. We don't. Well, we see some few decorations we got. And what your life gonna be? King say he got the most interesting life human ever could have. He got 26 district court lawsuit he filed. He's still alive. He got 26 appeal he filed against the United States. He's still alive. So we want to work on the conflict resolution training part of it. And make some money off this thing. And let's shout out to Poole. Shout out to Myers. Seek ye the Lord Shout out to Myers. No, people say King went mad because he got opportunity to fight for thousands, trillions, hundreds of millions amongst the civilians who claim they wanted to be rich and push for the best technology in the whole entire nation against any other nation. And then they met the king. And let's get back to the scene. God said it's going to be your final destination. I don't care how much money you come up with. We still got to talk. Let's go on the nature walk. God said we still got to talk. Let's go on the nature walk. And we meet the king. No more small talk. We want to figure out how many church businesses have donated. No, a lot of funds to all the businesses because they got a kickback, an influx of income to get back. We got so many poor people, and it's the poverty of it. And I know that tickles the imagination of the king when he say, artificial intelligence could have got to us faster than said that. And shout out to Jimmy John. King say this is church. This is talent. This is artistic expression. This is movie theater. This is everything God said. And God said he also do magic. And do you believe in magic? Because King said he was going to make it to the Supreme Court. One day God was going to give him vision. And what is your vision? And what is your purpose? To uplift the fallen humanity. And we talk about humanity. It's a king. We trying to see past physical things. We want to see to the spiritual plane and talk about the mental health statics exams that never should have been examined, but they were considered to be examined because King got hit with bleach, burn chemical, sucker punch, and needed his bifocal. And for 20 hours straight a day, he had to commit to education and presentation, communication rules the nation and United States nation. If you don't mind, we want to get back to the subject matter at play. King say he tried to figure out how he could come up a few dollars so legit go to other country with every human who build on coast in this area and who got to protect and serve the people who live in it and who believe in spiritual things, and they not gonna cry about a few lost pieces of change. And it's a change part of it. No, King said he really wasn't focusing on the people. Just, well, why you can't get back to work? Why you can't go be a slave for another man? And King say you got to understand how cold it is. But do you understand how cold these bodies feel? As we in cemetery class today with the king. And shout out to Medusa. She played too much. She played too much. But I love her. And God say he was going to do this to man from the moment he allowed Adam to entertain Eve. And we entertaining that historical book now. Let's not get caught. And what we got to do today, we got to talk about photo enforced business, district code, artificial intelligence code, all type of code that can decode, so we can decode all the old traditional tax brackets that have been proposed for years and years and years. And then they give a king an opportunity to file for disability with a lifetime eye fluctuating disease that'll rob the humans of their imagination. And right now, I got to talk to my people in the cemetery. If you don't mind, but if you do, understand I'm okay. And I hope you are too. It's the king. Shout out to Madu. Who done it, rookie? Who done it, rookie? Who asked for king? Who asked for the king? Say his show for Easter Sunday was something you never in your life could predict. No, God ain't gonna let you predict all his faith-based workers on their talents, their abilities, their skills, and their cognitive abilities when they pray for supernatural intervention. And it's a supernatural intervention. We want to get to the day and we talk to the bodies here. Only those, because the human that's walking, I mean, damn. You play too much. You know, humans that's walking, talking, breathing, smelling, tasting, touching, and living out the goodness of God and a full potential, the resources that's available. Some of us not living like we really want to live for what really God had said was available as a source. And if we could think about the artificial intelligence source of it, stop looking. They ask the king. We want to see what you say on your show. We might got you in the chokehold. And King say, no, me no choke. Me no chokehold. Me no chokehold, rookies. Let's get back to the subject matter at hand, if you don't mind. We're saluting to those that's not here, amongst those that's here. We got mental status exams in play. Shout out to the rescheduling after I spoke to April 28th.